Hello and welcome back to Civilization Beyond Earth Rising Tide. I am Chris Cavalier. We are playing as the People's African Union. I believe would be the correct terminology to use. I have not played them too much, and it was funny, I was just watching the load-in screen and it was saying that I am a philanthropist with Samatar, and that does not really fit me at all. So I may have to change my playing style. Probably not. Okay, so we are playing as Samatar here. Let's see what we got going on. So we have Mandira has their capital right here. They are going to be the Indian civilization. We have Moon Jae-san with Gyeongsang. They have just built a colony. Actually, I guess it's a city now. So we have them encroaching on us from the east. We have a civilization up here which we haven't explored, is to our north. So it looks like we can move into this area here, and we did start a colony down here in Ion, and so I think we're doing alright. We do have some Franco-Iberians moving through our territory without my permission, mind you. Let's take a look to see what we need here. We need 245 diplomatic capital to do anything, so we've got 2 turns and we can make something happen. So let's go ahead and just push the wheels of time. So let's see, you have 0 expeditions, which means we are sending you back to town. Where can we move you? Looks like you can double up there. And I think you can just keep on moving. I think we're fairly safe as far as not being in any potential wars. So I can shoot on the Kraken, but I think I'm going to hold off. Okay, blood bank quest decision. Since opening our clinic, the populace has been split by an ideological divide. Securing and improving our new territory has put great strain on both our military and civil workforces, and both contend that hazards they face should be offset by state-sponsored healthcare. Boy, this sounds eerily familiar. Our fledgling colony does not have the resources to do both, which then has a greater need of aid. Well, we're going to provide care for our civil workers just to boost up our health. So it doesn't seem that political in what we're trying to do. We're just trying to make sure we have the right bonus in the right place. And maybe that's the way healthcare systems work. I don't know. Let's see here. Covert operation detected in Magan. Well, there's only one person that could do that. And that's you, Burglecut. Yes. I know you were expecting me because you're trying to upset me. Mind your own business and stop building colonies towards me. Okay, so we don't have much going on, so we're just going to go ahead and hit our next turn. Got a little excited there. The whole healthcare thing, spies, just a little too real for me. Hitting close to home. We'll show them. They'll learn the meaning of respect after I'm through with them. We've discovered Palatine. Palatine, let's see here. 4 culture to any city that establishes a trade route. Only 1 city per colony may trade with each station at a time. Alright, so I think we're going to go ahead and let our explorer heal up. It's probably not a bad way to go. What did we build here? We've just finished a worker, which looks like is probably much needed. Oh man, I got this. Siege worm is becoming somewhat annoying. What can we do? What do we want to do? You know, I think the laboratory is an excellent choice. Let's see here. You need to move. No, we could probably move you that way. It looks like I do see a resource pod in our future. Mr. Worker. Let's see here. What? So you are somehow surviving on the edge with him. We need to get you down to here. That is the only answer that I have, is we need to get you going downtown to Ion. Maybe I should rename some of these cities since I probably just am butchering. Yes, Coyote is my favorite too. Alright, you gotta like that. Finding resource pods. 25 culture, beautiful. Okay, we are on to another tech. Let's see here. For choices, well, it looks like we probably want to take physics or engineering. And considering where we are at right now, I'm thinking that the physics is probably going to be the best with the dry dock, since we are building an aquatic city. So when I picture the aquatic city, I just have these images of SeaWorld, just being able to watch all the sea life. So very relaxing. Until we start feeling like shooting stuff. Then it's not so relaxing. Relaxing to a point. Okay. So you can start building stuff. So now, what I typically like to do is go into my city screen here and see what I can purchase. And I totally forgot about our diplomatic capital. So let's go ahead and take a look at that first. So what was I doing before? I was going with the cost to purchase units and buildings at a reduced cost. So let's go ahead and upgrade that. I think that is an excellent thing to do. Our health is tanking. It sounds like something contra. What is it? It seems like it's going against our mission that we had earlier that we completed. Our choice. Okay, so let's look at our purchase options here. So recycler, 350 energy. You know, I think we're going to go ahead and buy that. It's an extra 2 production. I think that is a great way to go. And then, so we have a choice here. We can go with the old Earth Relic, or we can go with the Trade Depot. You know, if we got the Trade Depot, if we got that going, then we could actually turn around and start trading with that I keep on wanting to call it the city-state, but the outpost, and we could actually get 4 culture per turn, whereas this is only going to give us 3. So it's going to take 6 turns longer, but we'll get more. I think that could be a good idea. So let's go ahead and go with the Trade Depot. And you can't buy the Trade Depot, so I think that's probably a good thing to do. And so as soon as they're done here, we'll start building a trade convoy and then throw it down into Ion. Or is it Ion? Maybe it's Ion. I don't know. There's just some things that are too difficult to figure out with a mortal mind.
How may the corporation serve you?
So I have a list here of how you can serve me. Ooh, you want to know what I'm thinking, huh? Very interesting. Looks good to me, let's do it. Make it happen. Okay, so now we can send off our explorer again. I'm thinking, let's try to get out here. And avoid our Kraken friend. Our Kraken friend is really no friend at all. It is somewhat of a misnomer, if you will. Krakens can never be friends. They're just not friendly. Okay, so we're going to dive off into the water. There is a big crevasse right in the middle of the continent, which is kind of nice. It's kind of nice. It's kind of like the Grand Canyon.
As Adam Smith said, trade is the life.
All right. I really don't care what Adam Smith said. Occupational hazard, quest decision. It's clear that the indigenous species of this planet may pose a threat to our growth. Oh, really? Though we cannot determine their intelligence, their hostility has been documented. Moving forward, we must decide how to deal with them. Do we attempt to domesticate the local wildlife, or exterminate them? Oh boy, the tough decisions. What are we doing? What was our big plan? We have not gone any particular direction. See, we got some Firaxite going on. We have some floatstone over there. Down here is an Ader. An Ader. An Ader Firaxite. There's another Ader. So we're probably going Firaxite, which means that we are probably going for a supremacy victory, which means we're going to domesticate the wildlife. We will make them into pets, and we will be happy. Quest objective received. We should not be so quick to destroy that which we do not understand. Instead, let us build an alien preserve that we may study them and better understand their needs. So build 2 alien preserve buildings. I will have to remember to do such an inane thing, such a small thing as to escape my notice, as it is beneath me to even consider such base buildings. I'm being a little facetious here. Alright. What do you want? Yes, give me 3 diplomatic capital per turn. That makes me happy. Maybe I should actually be watching, see if there's anybody that's actually getting upset with me here. What goes around? Quest decision. If we are to survive on this planet, we must be conscious of our new ecosystem. Luckily, we've learned from our past mistakes and have already instated a consistent recycling policy. The benefits of recycling are already known to us, but what of the recycled goods? Low-quality goods can be produced more quickly, thereby reaching more people. On the other hand, high-quality goods are sturdier and can be used for more demanding work, such as food production in the long run, which will be more beneficial. Boy, that is an excellent choice. Excellent question. Let's see here. Right now we have a whole lot of slowness going on as far as food production goes. We don't have a whole lot of food production in Magan. You know, our food production is not going to be too great in Ion here. You know, we may have to go with the food production. Why am I clicking there? Let's go and go with extra food. High quality goods can be used to harvest crops. The more food we produce, the more our people will grow. Stronger goods lead to stronger citizens. I like how that our more people will grow. We're growing them big in Magan. So they got muscles that are on top of muscles. We will use our strength to muscle our way into victory. And yes, I am a complete and utter dork. This is known. This is known, Jon Snow. This is known. So we're just checking stuff out, getting a lay of the land, building farms on rivers, you know, that whole business. What do we got here? 1, 1, 2. So let's go ahead and pop a farm down. Oh, we can develop a virtue. So our virtues, as you may recall, we are just going down this left side here because we're trying to get to civic duty and magnisanti. So civic duty, each tile is going to generate 0.5 production for every population. That is huge production. Make it happen, Samatar. Make it happen. So I think our production is going to be pretty darn awesome. And I'm all about awesome production. And why am I zoomed in so far? Let's see what I got going on here. So let's see, our algae must be some good eating. We're working that tile. So what do we want to do? We could actually build a construction barge, not construction barge, construct a work barge, or a farm, or a generator for energy. You know, I think we're going to do the farm and just really try to work that tile for food. I'm not so concerned about the energy. I was really considering coming over here and working this expedition site with that Kraken. You know that the Kraken scares the bejesus out of me, and what did I just see? Okay, so that's just a boat. Just a boat in eel-infested waters, and you're probably not in good shape. That is unfortunate. We're starting to really build up our diplomatic capital. 34 per turn is actually pretty impressive at this point. Maybe it's not that impressive, I'm just tooting my own horn. I know I was reading a quote about that the other day where if you're not going to toot your own horn, no one's going to toot it for you. And it kind of sounds a little pathetic, actually, but we just might toot our own horn here in Magan. Right? Okay, where are these guys at? 11 turns for their trade depot. So let's go ahead and throw out the trade convoy and try to get that going as quickly as possible. I know it would be nice actually to start building up our health, as our health is sketchy. We're growing them big and strong, we're just not growing them healthy. Okay. Ooh, there's Central, and Central has a Ripper. You're infested with Rippers. That is major embarrassing. I'm going to go ahead and lock that one in. Let's lock this one in just because I think that is a more secure tile to work. And we'll go ahead and hit next turn. So fairly quiet early on. What is this? That is a desert. Let's go grab some fruit. You know, I should almost go over here and get this alien skeleton. That seems much more interesting than grabbing this right now. Actually, maybe we'll go grab that resource pod first. It's probably the more interesting of interesting choices that we could potentially make right now. You know, we probably can actually go make a purchase with our diplomatic capital. Let's take a look. 275, we are well above that. Let's see here, we could go ahead and bump this up. What's this do for us? If we actually did this, plus 15% growth in cities when healthy, all specialist citizens produce 1 extra yield. You know, the other thing that we could do is we could actually boost our health a little bit, but I'm thinking that is probably not the best use of our moolah. So let's go ahead and do this so we can actually purchase things cheaper, because cheaper is better. 36 research, like it. In the water with you. Ooh, resource pod. No one has it. We must send somebody to get it. Do we want to have you make a beeline for it? You know, that's probably not a bad idea. Just gotta watch out for that siege worm that's roaming that area.
Consider a simple problem, such as...
I have no simple problems, narrator. I only have manly problems that only a man named Samatar may solve. So you keep your opinions to yourself. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pick up engineering. Then we'll probably pick up planetary survey and computing, or one way or another. Let's go ahead and pop the top on this sucker and go to the next turn. I just love the way this game looks. It's so cool. Oh, please, Mr. Siegeworm, do not gnaw upon us and gnaw upon our bones. We bring peace because our weapons are weak. So the trade convoy, 2 turns to go, which means our trade depot is close to finishing. Let's see, if I want to make our way to there, I could go around this way. Kind of do an end around, if you will, if you're a football fan, an end around to avoid the siege worm. Since siege worms are bad for business, their business is crushing stuff, and we're not about that. So I don't think I can actually change my city of origin as of yet. So what I will do, I can't establish a trade route, so you are going to go to sleep. You're going to pop up there. So you can go ahead and go around them. And now we need to build something else. So the ultrasonic fence. We haven't built an ultrasonic fence, which means we haven't got the quest for the ultrasonic fence, which means that our trade routes can be plundered by aliens, which is not a good thing. Interesting. What kind of moolah do we have that we could potentially purchase something? So we do have some options here. You know, being healthy would be important. Let's see, what would that do? That'd be 360. You know, I'm almost thinking let's purchase this Pharmalab. It is certainly not a very exciting choice, but I think it's probably a decent one. Let's go ahead and work the Cyto Nursery, and then we'll actually go back and get the lab in due time. One turn on our trade depot. Okay, Mr. Worker B. Ooh, we do have some copper. Copper is usually a good thing to get. A free solar collector. That is awesome. I like it. Look at this. 7 xenomass. 2 xenomass. We should almost think about getting a city up here. Yeah, we need to think about a third city, but we also need to get some health going. Let's see. How many turns do we have? Oh, I like that. It tells me 15 turns. So in 15 turns, we may consider actually getting another colonist going, if not sooner. I don't know. Undecided. So, if that is the case, maybe we could still go up here and explore a little bit more. Or do I want to have somebody back for defense? And wow, I don't like the looks of that. We got to keep an eye on him. Remind me. Keep an eye on said Kraken. Moving down towards Ion. You know, I think... Okay, that was unfortunate. I thought you would, So we do have a solar collector there, so that means we can put a solar collector here. Up, up, up and away! Let's clog the sky with orbital units. That is the way of mankind. Let's see here. What do you see? Oh, you got a little colony in the water. So I think from here we're going to go with the old Earth relic. And let us not forget that we have a trade convoy that we were going to move down to Ion. And something else that I like to keep an eye on. Let's go to our trade route overview. I like to make sure that we're not on auto renew, just because sometimes I may change my mind about who I like and who I don't like, where I want to trade, where I don't want to trade, and if I want to drink some alien-infested water. So we have a quest now. Our trading partner, Shackleton, has a request for us. Their interests overlap with that of a nearby rival, Palatine. They wish us to eliminate this rival and in return would offer substantially increased reward for our trading patronage. Where are they exactly? So they're over here somewhere. Boy, that... so if we actually go and trade with Palatine, that would really torque off Shackleton. You know, I think they would just cancel the quest, actually, but that's something to think about. Let's see, what are you doing? Okay, you're going to go down here, and you're going to build a mine on the copper. So I think you're okay for now. So we have some trade options. So look at this, Palatine, 9 energy, 6 culture. You know, I kind of like that. That 6 culture would be huge. That energy is pretty huge. You know, we could trade with somebody, but I'm almost liking just going with this Palatine and doing that. I don't know if it's going to make us any friends or not, but I think it's pretty good idea. Let's go ahead and start building a farm there. What were you going to do? So this siege worm is sort of in our way. So let's go into the water. Into the depths we go. Okay. We're doing pretty good. It's pretty quiet. Pretty quiet so far. What is this thing here? Sunken spacecraft. You're just kind of moving down the river, and we should go take a look to see what this Kraken is doing. So the Kraken is not going to get him, but he may roll into our farm, which is not cool. You know what? We may consider actually starting to attack aliens now. I really just start building up my military might, as we may start getting picked on for being rather weak, which means exploring with you is losing some of its validity, as we would probably need you to come down and, yeah, let's bring you back. Not a popular choice, but
Le commerce fonctionne quand on comprend l'autre.
we will accept your offer. Okay, so now you are being threatened by the Kraken, and this is just getting to be ridiculous. So, man, what do we do? Let's just put you in the town for a sec. We'll have you do nothing. Do nothing in Ion. And you will be safe and prosper. You know, we could just buy a tile up here. Put you into safety. Let's go back down there. You can work that tile again.
El pueblo unido de Sudamérica le da la bienvenida.
You are very angry. And that is a really weird camouflage pattern. In fact, I can't see you right now. You are blending into the hexes below. That's pretty funny, actually. Never ever really noticed that. This guy, anytime I play on this level difficulty, I always go to war with him. Always. So I think that is probably something that's probably going to happen then. If I always go to war with him, that means I would have to go to war with him. Oh, look at this. Expedition completed after many fruitless months. Oh, man. Why is that word always so tough for me? Excavating the alien skeleton, an alien life form approached from the wilds as if it was called. Your expedition team quickly armed itself, but this proved unnecessary. Whatever reverence it held for the dead skeleton seems to have transferred to you. An alien sea dragon is now under your control, and you are the chosen one. You will rule all of Frigid Terran. Alright, and we actually end up picking up an artifact as well. Love it. Okay, let's send you off into the great unknown. Let's go ahead and check out our artifacts and see what we can do. So our one option is we can bombard through terrain obstacles. Okay, that's pretty much... I shouldn't say it's garbage, but it's lacking as far as, you know, what I'm thinking that we could do. So this is going to start to get a little bit annoying. But the Kraken, which is typically how it goes with Krakens. So if you go that way, you can go this way. And maybe have you jump around over here a bit. And you can start coming down. Down and around. What do we got going here? We got a Cyto Nursery. We got an old Earth relic. Starting to get close where we can actually purchase something with our diplomatic capital again. Look at that. I love our 21 or 17.
Of toys or sweets. Instruct them to dream of infrastructure.
Yes, my children love playing with infrastructure. Get real, lady. Who has kids that play with infrastructure? And why? Oh, that's right. You only move 2 per turn. It's kind of freaking out, thinking, "Geez, you are slow." I thought I was clicking on my boat, and he was only moving 2 per turn. And we have all kinds of stuff going on here.
As Adam Smith said.
Okay, you need to get a new quote. A new quote. In fact, let me just find a quote for you. Let's see here. What do we want to do? The thorium reactor would be great. The ultrasonic fence. I think I said the ultrasonic fence. You know, we probably should actually build maybe a ranger. Let's build a ranger. I have been neglecting our military might. And I am losing my patience over here. I'm thinking that the dry dock... Let's take a look to see what we can actually purchase first before I start going off into La La Land. You know, I just may purchase the dry dock and build something else. So if we're going to go that route, let's actually go with the clinic since we can get it up the soonest. It'll give us some health, give us some science. Maybe then we can start building a colonist. You move there, you start building a farm. We're just going to have a zillion farms going and work around in a circle because it seems like a pretty ridiculous thing to do, and we're all about ridiculous. So we did have a mission to actually complete alien preserves. We need 2 of them, so that's definitely an option. Also, I really like doing the biochemistry for a water refinery, especially if we're going to have some aquatic cities. So that is a good idea. Of course, the science, spy agency thing is a good thing to go for. Oh, the thermaline rudder would be good as well. Give us +2 science, although I think we're a ways away from doing that. A water refinery, 25 turns. Because I think I was kind of looking at some other potential spots to actually build in the water. It's a tough one. You know, I'm thinking that we're going to go with computing. No. We're going to go with biochemistry. I want that water refinery. I'm going to make a decision and stick with it. Because I am a Samatar. I believe in growth. Growing my people strong. Okay, that was totally uncalled for. That was like an alien indigestion burp thing. Not cool, Mr. Alien Sea Dragon. So we can't actually build something. The question is, what do we want to go for? What can we do over here? The additional health would be helpful. You know, we could actually really try to ride our culture and boost that up as much as possible. We could also try to boost up our science as much as possible, which is probably a pretty good idea. Where are we at for our science? Return 19. So if we do 10%, you know, that's going to be like 2 science, which is actually pretty huge at this point. Okay, I don't want to hit next turn. What do we got over here that we could potentially do? Oh, we could get additional science or culture from killing units. I don't think that's probably going to be a strong point for us. Let's see. You know, I'm thinking let's ride the science as much as possible, because I'm thinking that's something that we could get behind in, especially at this difficulty level. Our culture, I think, is going to be pretty phenomenal as the way things are going. So let's do that. That Kraken annoying me to no end. No respect for its betters. So I think things are looking pretty good. Nobody is really getting upset at us, which means we are actually maintaining a balanced growth between our culture, energy, science. You know, our health is obviously not great. Diplomatic capital, I don't think they really ever judge you on that, per se. But having balanced growth, I think, is actually pretty important as you play in the higher difficulty levels in the game, just because the AI isn't going to go after you and start picking on you too much. So if we actually go and look at how we are viewed, pretty much everybody is neutral with this. And usually at this point, I have somebody upset at me for something. And that's just not happening. The scientific method, quest decision. The head of our new laboratory has an interesting proposal. At the moment, our research is quite broad. This approach is beneficial, but is dependent upon building more laboratories in other cities. However, he believes he can increase our scientific progress by focusing our research on xenoecology. Once we understand the local biology, we should be able to harness it for our scientific endeavors. Okay, so what do we want to do here? So an extra expedition module or extra science from laboratories. We're going to go with the laboratory bonus to science. I think that'll help us out more than anything. You know, I do like the extra expeditions, and if it was an easier difficulty level, I would probably go that route. I don't know. Maybe not. I think this is probably a smart move. As if you start getting behind in one of these, you really start getting picked on. You start getting all the grief from all these different cultures saying, oh, you're not doing this, and then it's basically like a threat that they're going to attack you. Okay, so now we have a ranger. Put our ranger over there. So you heal up. Mr. Sea Dragon, you go. Oh, don't attack anybody.
Slawiańska Federacja pozdrawiaje тебя.
I hear you loud and clear. Okay, what do we want to build next? You know, we could actually consider the colonists, because I'm expecting... Well, let's actually go do this first. So now we can actually do the Magnasanti. Each city generates 0.2 health for every building. Let's see what this gives us. So it doesn't give us a lot of health yet, but as we start building buildings, it will. So now the question is, which way do we, which route do we want to go? You know, I'm kind of liking the idea of building more soldiers, building more rangers. Another colonist is probably a pretty good idea, though. Let's go ahead and build another ranger and another soldier. Since our military is lacking, it's pretty obvious that it is. We have more cities on Enceladus than you have here. Well, thanks a lot for that. I appreciate your criticism. I don't agree with it. I think you're a jerk, but I don't know if you know how to be anything but that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put you on alert. Ooh, look at Mr. Fancy, oh, there's something there, isn't there? Mr. Fancy Cruiser. Mr. Fancy Pants with his cruiser. Anyways, I think that's probably a pretty good place to stop. I've rambled on long enough. So let's see, we are on turn 99. Well, we got to have it do a... We got to end at turn 100, right? That's going to kill somebody's OCD. It's the last thing I need to hear. I was doing fine until Chris Cavalier did not finish on a even numbered turn, especially when he had the ability to go after number 100 for turns. How can he live with himself with such out of sync? Okay, let's see here. Why aren't you building something? Build something. Build something, please. Quest decision, what are we going to go with? Oh, that's right, I was reading these. Trash or treasure? Quest decision. The pharmaceuticals engineered in our pharma lab are greatly improving the health of our colony. However, there are already a number of complaints regarding pollution from the transgenic waste material. Scientists debate whether we should use the byproduct of this and subsequent labs in experimental research or dispose of it entirely. So let's take a look what we got here. Study the byproduct. We can get some extra science from pharma labs, or we can destroy the waste material and get +1 health from pharma labs. I want to do the science, but the pharma lab thing for extra health could really kind of just get us pushed forward and try to stay in a positive health. I know in the long run it's the wrong choice. In the short run it's the right choice. So let's go with the science for the pharma labs. That was a tough one. Okay, let's go ahead and stop there. I'd like to thank you all for watching as we play Civilization Beyond Earth Rising Tide, as we are playing the People's African Union as Samatar. We have 2 cities going. We have Magan. We have how do I always mess this up? Ion, and then I think we're probably either looking at building up here, which is probably not going to make Central happy at all, They may get a little outraged with us, but I think that's a pretty good spot up there. Another option is to build over in here. Right here we have some titanium. You know, actually, just right out in here could be good. Or down over here. You know, and I think eventually we're going to want to build over towards this. You know, and we could probably even maybe build over here sooner rather than later. 'Cause the question is, I don't know exactly. You know, we might have to go here and then shift down. You know, move our city into the ocean. Anyways, we'll figure that out later. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.